Hey everyone, it's me Joji, and today we're going to be taking a look at a Sword and Shield deck. Now, this is going to be a deck profile, so I'm going to go over what's in this deck, a brief information on some of these cards because they are in Japanese, how to use them, and maybe some combo analysis on how to exactly use this deck. So, let's go ahead and get started. So this is a Lapras V deck, so we're going to be using Lapras V. Most of these cards are going to be water types. So, what are we running in this deck? We have 3 copies of Lapras V. So, what Lapras V does, let me take actually one of them so I can show you guys a bit closer. So, its first attack is Wave Back. Now, what that lets you do is, for one colorless, so you can usually use water, it lets you attach a water energy from your hand onto it and then switches it back onto your bench. Now it's going to be very helpful for some combos later. And then its other attack is Ocean Loop. For 3 water energies and 1 colorless, you deal 210 damage and you move 2 energies, I think it says specifically water energies, back into your hand. So this could help in case you may get knocked out next turn, do some damage, and ensure that you still have energies to play with later on. So, 3 Lapras Vs and only 2 Lapras VMAX. Now, we're only using 2 Lapras VMAX because, honestly, I don't think we really need the third one. 2 is enough for this, and we'll usually be able to put out 2 Lapras VMAXs in any game. So, its attack is G-Max Pump. Now, for 3 colorless, so usually you'll be putting water energies on this, it does 90 plus 30 for each water energy attached to it. So this can do a lot of damage, sort of like that Quagsire from before. We'll see that in a while actually, but very powerful card, can knock out a lot of things with one hit. Alright, so we're running 2 of those, and then we're running a single Articuno GX. This is more of a destruction card. So, you're going to be using it not for Ice Wing, but more for Cold Crush GX. So, Cold Crush GX will let you discard all the energies on it and your opponent's Pokemon. So, say they have something stacked with way too many energies, you're going to use this, discard all those cards, and they're going to be stalled for a couple turns if they have no way of getting those cards. Also helps a lot for special energies like Weakness, Rainbow, and later on Aurora Energy. So, nice disruptor there. Then we have a single Volcanion Prism Star. So this is going to let you use Jet Geyser and do some more disruption by forcing them to switch in something that may be favorable for you and unfavorable for them. So another way to disrupt your enemy. Now, the other big piece of this deck is our 3-2 line of Frosmoth. So 3 Frosmoth and 2 Snub. Now, the main thing of this deck is definitely this Frosmoth. This is very reminiscent of the old Archeostoys, where it would use Deluge to move energies from your hand onto a water Pokemon that's on your bench. So, really great card. It's definitely, like I said, giving those Archeostoys vibes. One of my favorite cards. There are going to be pre-release versions and league promo versions of this card coming out, so I'll be collecting a bunch of Frosmoth to be sure. But yeah, this is the other piece of one of the combos we'll be doing. We also have a 2-1 line of Quagsire and Wooper. Quagsire is going to be helpful with that combo as well, so we'll move the cards onto the bench, and Quagsire is going to let us move those onto our active Pokemon. We'll go a little bit further into detail on how to use it exactly a little bit later. Let's actually stack these a little bit more because I don't think they're all in frame. Alright, I think that might be a bit better. And then we have a 1-1 line of Savali GX and type Null. So, the reason we're doing this is we do need some more draw support, and just reload will help us get possibly 5, maybe less, up until 5 cards back into our hands. So, great way to help us draw into some more cards that we may need for combos. Or if we've already comboed, it'll actually help us grab some more cards. Then we have a single Ditto. So this Ditto obviously is for all those missing lines there. So we have only 2 Snobs because we have a Ditto. We only have 1 Wooper because we have a Ditto. Type null 1-1, but we do have the option again for Ditto Prism Star on it. Now let's go ahead and move into the trainers. Now we have 4 copies of Professor Research. Now this card is going to help you with a lot of draw power here. So you can use this to discard your hand. So you can also use this if you have no cards in your hand. So if this is the last one you play it, you're going to be drawing 7 without having to use anything. So a total of 4 helps you draw a really good new strong drawing card in this game right now. And we also have 2 copies of Marnie. Now Marnie is going to be another disruptor, but also help you draw cards. So what it does is you shuffle your hand, so not your deck, you shuffle your hand. So you go ahead and grab your hand, shuffle them a bit, get them all mixed up right, and then you draw 5 cards. You put you shuffle your hand and then you put that at the bottom of your deck. You don't shuffle into your deck, you just put them all at the bottom. So you could put a bunch of cards you don't need and you might need later at the bottom, but you do draw 5 cards. And also, you make your opponent do the same thing, but instead they draw 4 cards. So say they had some great pulls previous turn, maybe they pulled some Malamars or something that they can't use yet. Let's play this. All those cards they just pulled get to the very bottom of their deck, and they're going to have to fish for them some other way. So, great disruptor and a great way to draw some cards. We have 2 copies of Cynthia. I'm not too sure if I want to keep both of these copies because there are some other better cards to use like Marnie, but it does let you get 6 cards instead of just 5. We have 2 copies of Misty and Lorelei. This is more for getting your energy into your hand so you can use it with Frosmoth, or if you want to for some reason, maybe your opponent has gotten too many energies again on their Pokemon, you can use it for Articuno GX once more. So yeah, great way to accelerate some energies and get your combos going, and you could also disrupt some more with another Cold Crush GX. We have a single Mal and Lana. Great way to switch Pokemon in and out because we aren't going to be running a lot of switch items. So great way to switch Pokemon around, also get a heal in if we need to. And more than likely we're going to be healing only the Lapras V and VMAX, so 120, not bad of a heal. I'm thinking of possibly adding another copy of Malalana in place of a Cynthia. I'm still not sure about that yet. Maybe replace Cynthia's completely and get a 3 Marnie and 2 Malalana. We'll see in the future. Alright, moving on to those item cards. We have, there we go, 4 copies of Quick Ball. Now this is a reprint of an old card. What this lets you do is you discard 1 card, right? And you're able to get a basic Pokemon from your deck. So you can grab Lapras V, Volcanion, Articuno, Snom, Wooper, the type Null, or the Ditto. You can go ahead and use that and get some cards ready for some combos. Nice way to also, if you wanted to for some reason, discard something you may not need. So 4 copies of Quick Ball. Then we have 3 copies of Evolution Incense. So this card is going to let you get a evolution Pokemon straight out of the deck, no strings attached. So you play this, you can go ahead and get your Lapras VMAX, your Frosmoth, Quagsire, or Savali without having to worry about any other stipulations. So great way to get some evolution Pokemon. It's going to really help accelerate some evolution decks which have trouble finding them. I think the only thing we had before is Timer Ball, but I don't even remember if that's still legal. So Evolution Incense. We have then 3 copies of Lily's Pokédoll. Now this we'll see in a combo later with Lapras V and its wave back attack. So it's more of a stall really, or possibly a setup where they'll maybe not want to attack since it's just a Lily's Pokédoll and not waste an attack. We'll see how an opponent may attack this later. Now we have energy retrieval, but these are the old versions. So on here, I believe it says put 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your hand. the new wording, which is official and changes this one, is put up to 2 basic energy cards. So you can still use this, but the effect is put up to now. So actually beneficial, because now you can only use this if you had 2 energies in your discard. But hey, we may need to hard retreat, so this will help with getting those energies back into our hand. We have 2 copies of Pokemon Communication. Say we pull a Quick Ball, but instead we don't want a basic Pokemon, we want an evolution Pokemon. We can pull it with a Quick Ball, use Pokemon Com, and get our Lapras VMAX or anything else we really need instead. So 2 copies of that. Then we have the new Fishing Rod. Now, what this lets you do is grab up to 2 Pokemon and up to 2 energy from your discard and shuffle it back into your deck. So this works kind of like Brock's Grit and also energy retrieval, but instead of putting it back into your hand, it goes into your deck. But hey, in case you need something, maybe you had to discard one of these combo cards earlier for a Quick Ball, you can use this to put it back into your deck. So 1 copy of that. Then we have a single copy of Great Catcher. We do want to have some way of pulling those still existent GX Pokemon. Say we want to knock out a Dedenne or something that may be weak to weak to water. So any water type Pokemon, so Charizard Braxton or Reshiram Charizard, we want to get those 3 prize cards. Great Catcher is going to be our card. A single reset stamp in case Marnie we don't want to give him 4 with Marnie, but maybe we want to give him either 1, 2, 3, depending on how many prize cards they have. We have a new card here. It is Air Balloon. Now, what Air Balloon does is when you attach this to a Pokemon, its retreat cost goes down by 2. So this is actually very beneficial because, like I said, we don't have too many things to switch out with. We have Mallow and Lana and Lily's Pokédoll, really. That's the only 2 things we have. So more than likely we're going to be hard retreating. This is going to help us with that. Putting it onto Lapras VMAX will have a 1 retreat cost. I believe our Volcanion also has a 3 retreat cost, so bringing it down to 1. But everything else in our deck has a 2 retreat cost, so everything else will become a free retreat cost. This will come in handy for using it with a combo with Articuno, or maybe in case we need to put Savali in, and then we need to pull it back out. So 2 copies of Air Balloon. Then we have a single Viridian Forest, in case we need to grab some energies and have to discard a card. And then we have the energy. So we're running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, total of 10 energy. Honestly, that's usually enough. I maybe would suggest 9, maybe even 11 if you think you may need that extra energy at some point, but this is pretty much the deck. So Lapras VMAX, some new Sword and Shield cards. This may be a deck I will try out in the beginning. It's actually not very popular in Japan. Not sure why, but hey, still one of the first VMAXs, and it does hit for a lot of damage. So let's take a look at our basic setup that we usually want. We want to have Lapras VMAX as our active, a Quagsire, Frosmoth, Savali, and Volcanion Prism Star in our bench. That way we can go ahead and set up for most of our combos. So our main combo is using Frosmoth, Quagsire, and Lapras VMAX. So what we're going to usually want is in our hand a bunch of energies, and we're going to want to use Frosmoth's Ice Stance to move them onto any of the Pokemon on the bench, because we'll move them eventually with Quagsire onto our Lapras VMAX. So in this case, we're adding on a total of 5 energies onto our Lapras VMAX. And then if we have a Misty and Lorelei, go ahead and play that, and then you would just go ahead and look for your other energies. They were all at the top. Alright, so grab the other 3, do the same thing, throw them onto there. That's pretty much, let's see, that is 9 in total. So 270 plus the 90 base, that is 360 damage. That is enough to knock out, I think, every single VMAX Pokemon out there right now. So crazy combo, really would be helpful. And then you could essentially, use Savali GX right after that, and draw yourself another couple cards, so you can keep the combo going. So let's say your opponent's Pokemon seems to have way too much energy. You can go ahead and play your Articuno GX, and keep in mind you don't want my Power Plant to be in play, or else its effect won't do anything. So you're going to go ahead and play it, use its Legendary Ascent to switch it into the active, and take this however many you want, but you really only want one energy, and go ahead and Cold Crush it to get rid of those energies on the opponent's Pokemon. And again, you could have used a Misty and Lorelei if you had already used Cold Crush GX, so you can use it a second time. Let's say that you don't have your Frosmoth set up just yet, and you want to make sure that the Lapras V doesn't get knocked out this turn. What you can do is play a Lily's Pokédoll, use Wave Back to return it to your bench, switch it with the Lily's Pokédoll, and attach a water energy onto it. So it helps speed up a bit in case you need to. But yeah, good way to stall, that way they'll knock out the Lily's Pokédoll, and if they don't, you can go ahead and use its effect to put it at the bottom of your deck and bring in something else. So maybe you want to bring back your Lapras V because your turn would have pulled you something a little bit better. You could always use some other things to maybe grab some other stuff. This time around it wasn't a Frosmoth we were looking for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Lapras VMAX deck profile. Kind of something I wanted to try doing where I go over possible deck ideas. This one, again, I don't know if it's getting played a lot in Japan, but it's something that me and a few friends seem to be interested in. So thought I'd build my own version of it and see what you guys think. So let me know what you guys think. Is this something you would build if you're a player, either in person or on the online game? What do you think? What should be changed? What would you do different? Let me know down in the comments. But yeah, I have possibly 2 more in store for you guys, similar to this, where I have some of the proxy cards and some of the actual cards in my deck. We'll also be doing the ADP Zacian V deck that's pretty popular in Japan right now, and then we may be doing some form of grass type. I'm not sure exactly. I'm still trying to get the idea going in my head. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this type of video. If you did, get subscribed, ring that bell so you can get updates on more videos like this in the future, and for any other Sword and Shield Pokemon unboxings and the like. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.